Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And in this video, I wanted to show you an idea for a Thanksgiving or fall host gift or neighbor gift. I found these guest napkins at the Dollar Tree, and I was so excited because I think it's just beautiful. Look at the colors. We've got our Cajun Craze, pumpkin pie, so saffron, mint macaron, crumb cake. I mean, I was so excited to see some of our colors here on trend and in style, and I always try to find some kind of little towel or napkins that I can give as a gift or share with my daughters to give as a gift. So today we're going to be using the Gather Together bundle that's in the holiday catalog. It comes with that beautiful stamp set and these gathered leaves and shapes, okay? And what I've done for today is when I first got these dies, I cut quite a few of these 3 leaves that emboss and cut the leaves in the colors that were in the designer paper. Okay, and so I had those on hand, so this made this project super quick and easy to put together. And I have very little of my second pack of the Gather Together Designer Series paper. As you can see, I have scraps in the package, but I found 2 12-inch strips of this, and so I made a sample, and then I'm going to make this one. And so you could use any width from like 1 inch to 2 inches. Okay, you really don't need any more than that, and it's a full 12 by 12. So that's how I started. So I just came down, and since I didn't want to cover up the pumpkins or the thankful, I just put it in between that image and then the bottom border, and I'm just going to wrap it around and put some adhesive. So I think I'm going to use snail for right now, just so that the drying time is a little quicker. And I'm going to pull this around. No scoring needed. And I want that to be able to slip off when the recipient receives it, if they want to keep that for some reason. Okay, so I have that, and then I have some mint macaron, a half sheet. You don't need much. I just want to punch a 2-inch circle punch because that's going to be the backing of our little embellishment that we're going to create. And then I have a piece, it's about 5 by 4 of shimmery white cardstock. Okay, you could use regular Whisper White, but I like this because I'm going to be doing a little coloring on it, and I love the shimmer already in the background, so we're going to use that. So what I did is I took the 2 pumpkin images from the set and I mounted them on the same block, and I'm going to stamp them down toward the bottom edge so that I can cut and punch them out. So I'm inking these up in Cajun Craze, and it'd probably be easier to do it this way with them spread out on the block like that. And so I'm going to come up, not do it too close to the bottom or too close to the edge, because I'm going to punch out these 2 pumpkins here. Okay, so now let's just fan that a little bit and let it dry. I'm going to close this for now. And I'm going to be watercoloring with my Wink of Stella glitter brush. Love this technique. It's so easy and fun. I have used my Wink of Stella pen for so many holiday projects. I can't encourage you enough to try that. It just adds some fun sparkle. So I'm going to take it, and that's just our classic ink there. And I'm going to brush over it. And see how it's blending the color into the rest of the pumpkin, but yet the outline is staying bold and dark. So pretty and sparkly. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and do this one. I've used this little glitter brush so much, I'm almost down to the end of that, and I'll have to open up another one. I have plenty on hand because I use these quite a bit. Okay, so see there? I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it's really pretty. And then, of course, I've got the the shimmery white cardstock in the background. So after you do that with one color, I kind of brush it off a little bit to get that color off. And then I want to do the stem, and I'm going to use a little bit of crumb cake that I have here in the lid of my crumb cake stamp pad. So I'm just filling that in again. I'm picking up a little of the ink and going over the stem. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1 1/2 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch these pumpkins out, but I'm going to move them over as far to the left as I can, okay? And then just kind of center top to bottom. Okay, so that is ready. And for this one, I'm going to fussy cut it. I want to cut it out, and I could die cut it, which I have the die for it, and let's do that. I fussy cut the first one, forgetting that I had the die. So let's bring in the die cutting machine. But if you don't have the die and you have a pumpkin stamp, you could always fussy cut it out, because that's how I did the first one. Okay, so let's get this in here. Put that die right there. Put a cutting plate on top and just roll it through. Okay, kind of crowded here on the workspace. All right. Okay, I'm going to keep that over here. And now, so I have this ready to go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that over this side of that circle, okay? So what I'm going to use is a Stampin' Dimensional. And I'm going to put one over here behind this left side of the pumpkin. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the protective paper off and then just mount it over like that. Okay, so I have that. Now let's get some leaves. Here are my little treasure bag of leaves, and I'm going to use a Pretty Peacock one, and I think I have one more Cajun Craze cut out. So all right, I want to choose 2 different styles, so I'm going to get this oak leaf, or maple leaf, I think is what that is. I better watch it and not try to name my leaves. Somebody's going to call me on it. That's not right. Okay, so here, to make this go with the rest of the project and add some sparkle, and it darkens the color a bit, I'm just painting over the front, and this is just the cardstock, and these dies cut the leaves and emboss them with the leaf veins, which makes them super beautiful. And here's a Cajun Craze, and I'm going to do the same thing. Color, you can see I'm getting down to the end of my little sparkly liquid in my pen, but it's going to work for this project. So there we go. Okay, so now these are ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these now right here behind that pumpkin, and I'm going to overlap them. So let's go ahead and put the larger leaf in the back. I'll slide this in behind the big pumpkin and try not to cover up the little pumpkins. And then let's do this. And that's just our liquid glue I'm using, just in a different applicator. Okay. Then you just kind of play with these to get them like you want. Okay, that works. Okay, so now this is going to be mounted over this mint macaron circle, but I thought that was way too plain to leave it like that. So we have this little distress spotted stamp within that Gather Together ink pen, stamp set. Get my words all mixed up. Okay, so I'm just stamping all over, creating a background, okay? Okay, I'm just filling in. Let me go ahead and close this, and then I already have some of that Pretty Peacock ink on this sponge dauber, and so I'm going around the edge to finish it off. That Pretty Peacock and Mink Macaron are very complimentary. Love that. Okay, so now I'm just going to mount this over here with some liquid glue. And I'm just putting, whoops, I'm just putting it on the circle rather than the leaves, okay? And that'll hold that on just like that. And so now we are ready to put it on our package. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this. I'm going to pull that down a bit because I don't want to cover up Thankful. Now, when I originally made this project, I thought, okay, I'm going to use one of the beautiful sentiments in this set. And you have several. Gather together, season of thanks, wishing you well. You know, several you could use on this. But I had this Thankful here. And I thought, I really don't need anything else. So I'm just going to put the embellishment here with the pumpkins and the leaves, and that'll be fine. So I just need glue right here in the center. And I'm going to put that over top. Just kind of centering that circle. And then you can slide this down if you need to for your word or sentiment or your graphic to display. And then I thought, okay, I need a little bit more bling. So I've got the Holiday Rhinestone Jewels out. And I'm going to use 3 of these. Let's see. There. And I'm using all of the same size. Put one there. Still a little bit wet, so I got to be careful on here. Okay. So there you have it. But one last little bit, I decided to add a bow. So this is Mink Macaron textile weave ribbon, and it's in the annual catalog. And I just tied a bow and used a mini glue dot, and I'll put this right down here. And I thought that added the finishing touch. And so here's the first one that I made. And let me show you something. If you don't have a word or a sentiment on your napkin, I stamped one of the pumpkins here with the ink that was left on the pumpkin stamp. And then, so it's a very light shade of the Cajun Craze. And then I stamped the sentiment, Gather Together. And this is the Storybook Label Punch. And you can see I cut off part of the edge because what I did is I slid it underneath here like that and centered it. But then I thought, words here, I don't need that. Okay, it looked better without it. So that's just another option. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com where you can find the details and lots of other project ideas. Let me know if I can help you with anything, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.